Alrighty, I am Sil/Val, and I'm going to do a little video here to show you how to install and set up my UI as easily as possible. This is actually going to be an adventure for me because I haven't tested it yet. I don't like creating random characters on other servers, and I have to create a new character on a new server to test it and make sure it works. Anyways, this will be a fun thing for all of us. I'm going to go ahead and get started here by showing you how to set up a secondary installation of the game without actually having to install it or fill up huge chunks of your hard drive with it. What we want to do is browse, open up Windows Explorer here. There we go. And browse out to where you have the program installed. I'm under the C Users Public Games folder. And there's my existing install. We want to create a new folder for your new install. I'm just going to call it Test UI. Alright, we're going to open that up and see it's empty because I just created it. Duh. And we're going to open up another window here just to make things easier. Browse to the actual installation folder for your current World of Warcraft installation. So there we go. What we want to do is copy this folder, updates. We have to do this, otherwise the game is going to want to patch your install afterwards because it won't find these files. And if it tries to do that with a junction directory like what we're going to set up here, it can lead to issues, I've heard. I've always just been careful not to do it. And we also want to copy all these over here so that this is what we have in this folder. You'll notice I got the little menu copy move. That's just a right-click drag in case you don't know. Alright, now the other folder we need is the data folder, but this thing is like 22, 25 gigabytes. So rather than copying that, which you can do, that'll also work, but what you can do, if you're on Windows Vista or Windows 7, you can do this. Windows XP, you can do it if you have an extra utility, and if you're really nice, I might find it for you, but I don't know where it is now. Anyways, we want to open up a command prompt. You just come to the Start menu, and in your search bar there, just type in CMD and hit Enter. And when it comes up, we need to change directory to this folder here. And one thing you can do is this. There we go. You won't be able to drag and drop in Windows Vista. You'll have to type it out, and in Windows 7 it depends on your UAC settings. So here we are in the Test UI folder. We need to create our data folder, so we're going to use the make link command. It's mklink, just like that, with a /j. So we're creating a directory junction. We're going to call this junction data, and we're going to junction it off of this folder here. Again, you can drag and drop. If you can't, you'll just have to type it out. So when we hit enter, junction created, blah blah blah, and there it is right there. So we can go ahead and close out of there. Now I've created a character on another server. I'm going to go ahead and launch the game, log into that. I'm going to switch over to FRAPS because I don't know if Cam Studio can record this, and FRAPS can't record the desktop, so I'll be right back here in just a moment. Alright, I have logged into the new installation here, and I've already gone through, watched the cinematic, set up the video and audio and whatnot, and I've logged over to my brand new character on the Garrosh realm here. His name is Mud. Here we're going to go and log in. I'm just going to show you that everything is the default standard UI. See, look, nice and pretty. Yuck. Alright, going to go ahead and log out and switch back to the desktop. Alright, we are back at the desktop here. I've logged out, and you'll notice in our Test UI folder here, we've got quite a lot of files here. The ones we're primarily concerned with, of course, we have our interface folder. We can actually just delete that. And I'm just going to move this here temporarily so I can use it as a template. You can either use your standard install to reference, or you can write it down or whatever. What we need to do is open up the download file here, and you'll see that we have the interface and WTF folder. We can go ahead and just move the interface folder in. And we're done. I'm going to show you the interface folder here. Of course, you're all familiar with add-ons. I'm not including every single add-on I use. I've left some of them out. But these are all the ones that actually affect the layout and look and feel of the UI. And none of the other stuff I didn't include. I use bigwigs, but I didn't include it in case you want to use DBM. I use Auctionator. If you use one of the other ones, you would use that. I am including Bagnon just because I have it set up. You can feel free to delete the Bagnon add-on and switch to something different. But everything else here is something associated with my actual UI. And only one is class specific, like K Holy Power for my Paladin. If we go back up here to the interface folder, you'll see the textures right here. And I actually just realized I forgot another folder, and I'll go ahead and include that in the download here. Is also this folder. Alright, textures here, this is important. This is the actual textures for my kgpanels. We want to also put the fonts folder in here. Now the way this fonts folder works is the game is going to look at any fonts in this folder that have these names and use those in place of the standard names in the UI. So if you want a different font for standard UI elements, you can just come in here and take a copy of that font, and any true type font will work here. Just copy it in here and rename it to whichever one you want. You'll notice, there we go, and this font is actually called Roadway, as you can see here. And I've just renamed the font, and I've replaced all four. Feel free to use whatever you want. But because I'm replacing all of these, the Arial, the Frizz Quadra, whatever, Morpheus, and the Scurry fonts, everything in the UI is going to be using these, and all of my customizations are set to use the Frizz Quadra, whatever name it is, font here. So if you don't like the font I use, you can just replace that one to replace everything in my UI, and replace the others for the standard Blizzard UI elements that you want to replace. Alright, so we're going to come back up here, test UI, and I'm going to copy over the WTF folder. And we're going to have to make a little bit of changes in here for you. So we want to open it up, and you'll see the account. Okay, you'll want to browse to either your backup copy of the WTF that we moved out here, or you can browse to your actual install of the game and use that one. But we want to browse into this one. You're going to see the account folder, so we're going to come into the account folder here, and you'll see where it's named account name here. You need to rename it to match your account from that one. So I'm going to rename it. I'm going to open it up, and you'll see here is a server. Well, I'm going to rename that one also. Pretty straightforward. And then inside of the server folder, you're going to have a character folder. Now, if you have more than one character you want to use this for, you'll need to create a copy of that folder for each one of them, like that, and then rename it, each one of them, to replace one of your characters. Now I only have one character there, so I don't need the copies. Once that's done, we are essentially good to go. So let's go ahead and launch it up. And once again, I'm going to switch back to FRAPS to do the rest of the video. Alright, here we are entering world on Garrosh on My Name is Mud. And as you can see, we're already in. Mostly have everything set up here. There's going to be just a little bit of adjustment to be done. First thing we want to do is bring up our interface and then go to the add-ons. And you want to go down through all of these add-ons in the list here, and for each one that has a profile, we'll need to set that profile up just in case. For the most part, everything should be copied over to the default profile. Looks like Dominoes. Oh, yeah, Dominoes. What you'll need to do, it's always going to create a new profile for a new character. So what you want to do is highlight the default profile there and just hit copy. And now your bar is set up over here. Everything else looks like it should be set up. We've got our data brokers up here. Okay, so trainers we're going to have to set up. It always creates a new profile. You're going to see all of my profiles here because I wasn't going to delete all of them. So you just come in here. It's going to give you this one. It's going to give you this new profile here. You just hit copy profile, and you can copy any of mine, but the safest is probably Solani. So you can see we've got our debuffs over here. We got our buffs over here. MSBT to bring that up. It should be working. Yeah, looks like that's set up how I have it. So at this point, the only thing that's going to be off is your chat areas, your chat windows. Of course, I have a brand new character, so I just have the default, and it's in the default position, which is like right there. So you just unlock those because you can drag them around, and because you have the chat add-on Pratt installed, you'll have this nice little resize handle right there. You can resize that. Now, I use dual chat screens. I put general, combat log, whispers, and group over here on this side, and then I put another window over here for guild chat. You can feel free to do whatever you want. If you want to make a new window for guild chat or whatever and put it over here, do that. If you want to put something else here, do that. That'll be fine. But as you can see, everything should be set up and ready for you to use at this point, and have fun.